Windows is a dictatorship. Let me explain. So one day you're just hanging out, you're just using your Windows computer like you do every day. And this has happened so many times to so many people. You know what I'm talking about. You're in the middle of a 5 hour Dust Bowl documentary, and all of a sudden the computer restarts and it says, "Oh, it's time to update." And you know it's going to take 15 minutes, half an hour. You might as well just walk away, go do something else. It's ruined. And you're just thinking to yourself, how's the United States going to survive this ecological disaster? Well, spoiler alert, it's trees. They planted a lot of trees. And just like the Dust Bowl was caused by farmers engaging in extensive plowing of the Great Plains without any adequate soil conservation methods, Microsoft has been plowing the fields of your sweet computing experience for years by throwing ads at you all over the place, trying to gather your data, trying to force you to use Office 365 or Copilot. And people are tired of it. There's a revolution happening. Tons and tons of people are switching over to an operating system called Linux, or GNU Linux if you want to be one of those guys. And this revolution has been happening slowly over time for years. Everyone knows it's better. The only reason so many people use Windows right now is because Microsoft pays these computer companies to put Windows on there by default. So everyone got used to it. The network effect happened, and this is what people are familiar with. It's not because it's better. I mean, hell, even Macintosh, even Mac OS is better. And people are switching that. People have been switching it for years. The only point of entry there, though, is an expensive computer for the most part. And now Apple's releasing these MacBook Neos that are $500, and Microsoft is just dying. But I'm saying if you got a PC right now, we can switch to Linux. Linux was created by Linus Torvald in like 1991 because he was sick of a different computing experience. He was using a closed source version of Unix that he needed to do some other stuff and he got tired of it. So he wrote his own kernel. He basically created his own little operating system. And he made it open source, free to anyone to modify and publish their changes. And a ton of people did. From hobbyists to professional developers, they all added to the project. And now it's created one of the greatest operating systems of all time. It's used on servers. It's used everywhere, basically. Some game systems use Linux, like the Steam machine, Steam OS, all that kind of stuff. This is what you call voluntary cooperation. There's no CEO deciding, oh, we're going to add this feature because it's going to boost profits to shareholders who do absolutely no work and who may not even use the product. No, they're building little pieces for people who actually use the product. And usually the people who develop those little pieces also actually use the product. They're usually programming on the product itself. These are things you can't do with Windows. If you hate a piece of Windows, you're just stuck with it until they decide to fix it. And yeah, there may be some problems with Linux. There's a few that I've ran into myself, like hibernation mode, cutting off the signal to my monitor and it not coming back up. I just turn hibernation mode off because I don't really care for it anyway. Or I got a little niche problem where the computer hooked up to my surround sound system in my living room. The audio pass through is like delayed a little bit, but I think that's just a problem with Arch. I'm not sure. But for your everyday computing experience, like most games are going to run, and things like surfing the internet or writing reports or doing little Excel spreadsheets, all that stuff is going to be basically the same. There are some programs that aren't going to run, like Adobe software and stuff like that. But honestly, I think with all the people migrating and with Windows constantly screwing up their entire system by programming new updates with AI, these companies are going to start switching over and developing their software for Linux so they can sell it to people on Linux. Another little problem I would warn people is if you're a gamer. I know gamers are obsessed with NVIDIA graphics cards. You know, there's an argument what's better, but everyone basically says, yeah, NVIDIA is better for gaming. And NVIDIA has their system closed off too. So Linux developers have a harder time developing little drivers and software to make NVIDIA graphics cards run good with Linux. A lot of that stuff has been fixed right now. And some people will say, oh, it's all good to go. But you will run into little problems where a game will show artifacts or you'll have to research. But my argument is with more and more people switching over, there's going to be more people complaining. And then there's going to be more people looking at these problems and hearing about these problems. So they'll fix these problems. And hell, maybe NVIDIA will get tired of Windows also, and they'll just say, all right, let's just open it up, or let's help develop a driver for the Linux community. I can really see that happening. So yeah, if you want to escape Windows and the iron fist of Microsoft constantly trying to shove things down your throat like Copilot and age verification, then try Linux out. But I would say don't just jump on anything. Go and look up YouTube videos or some kind of little essays on the internet about what you use your computer for. If you're a gamer, look up the specific game and see someone playing it on Linux and try that version of Linux out. Well, that's all I got for you today. Really, just a little rant about how I hate Microsoft and how you should switch to Linux. I'd like to know in the comments down below, though, what version of Linux you're using and what you're using it for, and what little problems you've ran into. I think people who watch this video, they'll read that, and then it'll help guide them to the right area. Give me a like if you'd like. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to 15 subscribers by the end of the year. Thanks for watching. Bye.